Good morning, everyone. Today is Wednesday, July 23rd, and today we will cover the trades for YieldMax funds, TSLY, CONY, Vidy, Misty, Simsy, and Platey. Again, I'll apologize for my voice. It's a little groggy as yesterday, a lot of crap going on. In the midst of it, I also got sick from some bad food, but hopefully I can get through this video and then we'll be all good maybe tomorrow. Who the hell knows? All right, so let's get to it. So who had trades yesterday? Well, a lot of people, right? But more importantly, we'll scroll down. Again, this is the download of the intraday trades. And here first, we're looking at Misty. Buy call, sell put, sell call. So they added 500 contracts to one of the synthetic positions, which we'll get into. And then they closed out 5,000 contracts on a 465, which costs, chump change, which also we'll get into. And then they opened 2 new positions for next week. All right. I'll be drinking a lot of water during this video and, of course, coffee. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay, even with my stupid voice, unfortunately. All right, so again, Misty holds 5 different synthetic positions. All right, so if we go to the download of the intraday trades, you'll see the strike price that they added to was 390. Okay, so there's also, I believe there may be 2 390s, but this one expires 9/19. So if we go back to the file, here's the 2 390s. The first one, the first tab, expires 9/19. So if I scroll to the top, you can see, okay, here's where they added the 500 contracts. And it's not cheap, by the way, because this is in the call's in the money, right? So they cost about 2.8 mil to buy the call, and they got a credit on the put of 947,000, a $1.9 million credit. Again, apologize for the voice, but man, it is what it is. Life happens. All right, so let's go to the weeklies tab, and let me take a sip of coffee as if that's going to help, but let's get to it. By the way, obviously, those of you that are here, we're live, but if you're watching it later on, yes, we are live. The plan for this video, do what we usually do, go through Misty, the other funds, some of my options trades, and then since it's Wednesday and we're live, we're gonna go live until 6:55 a.m. when YieldMax declares their distribution, and then we'll probably wrap it up from there. If I do, I may have to pause the video though in case my wife needs help with the kids, because obviously there's a lot going on right now at home. Anyway, so MSTR yesterday, they went up 0.03%. MSTY went up 0.23%. So, I mean, you couldn't ask for really a better day, right? Because again, when MSTR just chills and it stays flat, that's honestly the perfect scenario when you're selling covered calls out of the money, shall I say barely out of the money, because, it's going to cost less and less to close them, which is why Misty's price actually went up. By the way, implied volatility from day to day, the 21st, the IV was 54%. The 22nd, it was 49. And today it's 49, but it's down 0.5%, unfortunately. All right, so let's get to the trades here. Remember, they just closed out the one position. So this was a 465 strike, still out of the money. You know, and it only cost 59 cents per share to close that position. If you may recall, they made $3.99 per share to open that position. So, you know, they made $3.40 per share, or $1.7 million in total profit for that one trade right there. So again, it looks like on this flat trading week, they're gradually closing out their trades and opening new ones, which again, you like to see them active. You like to see them making these moves instead of just sitting idle and waiting to do everything at the end. So again, I like the strategy. I'm not sure if you guys agree. All right, so here's the 500 contracts they added to the synthetic. So what they did is, well, let me make sure that's 725. Let's go right here. Yep, 725. They sold a call for 40 for Friday expiration, and it's 3.19% out of the money. And then the rest of them, 7,500. Did I used to? I think I used to like close these up, right? To show that they're one. It's been a while since they had a credit call spread, so I kind of forgot what to do. But yeah, I think I used to order these up. So what they did is they brought back credit call spreads, right? They sold a call into next week, 440 strike. That's kind of tight, to be honest, 3% out of the money for that many trading days. But they did buy a call for some protection in case they do get blown through early on, and they could probably cash it out and, you know, move the strike price up. All right, so moving on to the outstanding shares. Obviously, they added to the synthetic, which means new money came in the door, and it looks like approximately 2.5 million outstanding share increase, almost a 1% increase in the fund. The value of Misty sits at 2176. MSTR sits at 426.40. 30-day IV 49%. Oh, great. Let me hit refresh, see if that means the holdings is not updated. Yeah, that's a problem. All right, outstanding shares is not updated because the holdings tab, if we go to it, yep. Hopefully that gets updated while we're on this video. All right, moving on to the MSTR funds tab where we compare the various funds. So let's see, MSTR, they went down yesterday, again, 0.03%. Misty went up 0.23. Winter went down actually more than I would think. Went down 0.76. IMST went down 0.09. Not sure why that went down actually. MST went up 0.21%, and MS2 went down 0.17%. So, I mean, an unusual day. Actually, the results are really weird on some of these, but in the end, whatever, you know, we're Misty Mafia. Misty won, so that's kind of, we're happy, you know. I'm sure some of you own these other ones too as well, but you know, again, not too much movement, so I wouldn't be too concerned. Reaction yesterday, we had a checkbox check, closing out shares. Same thing, yes. Same thing again, check. So again, slowly moving out of positions, opening new ones, this, that, the other thing. All right. Moving on now to the payment tab. So synthetic income, we're sitting at 187 mil. For the weeklies, though, unfortunately, it's a loss of 149 mil. Again, outstanding shares is not updating, so this is wonderful. So we don't have the net income per share, but it's nothing too exciting to talk about. So we will focus what the IV is and also the gains per share. Again, we have to start thinking about what Misty's going to pay. So again, it could be anywhere from 83 cents to $1.82 based on what I'm seeing. Now, you know, what do you guys think? I know you guys probably want $2, but you know, it's not likely because Misty's, you know, it's not making too much money at this moment. You know, it's not like MSTR is flying to the moon. MSTR is just like, been like kind of chilling lately, but and the IV is not fantastic. So again, look at the IV. That's technically what you should be yielding on this fund at this very moment. So if we get anywhere in between, that's a plus. Like if we get a 75% yield. So that's good stuff. All right. Again, I'll try to hit refresh again. If not, I'll come back to it later because I'm sure, it does this sometimes and then you have to come back and it updates. All right. So that's not working at the moment. Actually, this was filled in previously. So now we're missing a line. Again, this is what happens when you use Google Sheets to download the holdings for the various funds. But again, maybe we'll come back to this one too. We'll come back to all of them. Also, the earnings, I believe, is coming up in August. So I wanted to mention that as well. I think it's August 7th. At least that's the note I have. This will be for fiscal quarter 2Q25. So I want to, make sure we keep an eye on that. Hopefully the implied volatility starts to move their ass up as we approach earnings. If you guys have a different date, let me know. All right. So there's 440 review between YouTube and Twitter. So that's good. Obviously, I assume more will be coming in slowly. I know it's early. It is early, but not too early. All right, so looking at the other trades again, the download is in alphabetical order. So TSLY did not have a trade. But if we go here and we see what did Tesla do yesterday? Tesla went up, had a pretty green day, went up 1.09%. TSLY, not so much, actually. Went up 0.62%. It's kind of surprising. I'm not sure that they were, really capped at all, actually. I'll have to double check in a second, but only a 56% capture. Wow, that's kind of weak. All right, so yeah, man, they're out of the money. Again, with earnings coming up, you never know, like with the short-term volatility, like the cost to close these may have become more expensive, right? Versus, the value of, say, a longer call that goes out into September. Again, that's kind of like my only thinking when you see an oddball movement like that. So we'll see after today. Again, earnings is after hours. So we'll see, like, of course, depending on what it does, obviously these will become cheaper if they stay at the same price. Obviously, these will be cheaper to close. But anyway, we're still out of the money. 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7% out of the money heading into earnings today. Again, I believe it's after hours, and who knows? And let's look at the synthetic position, 290, 295. Tesla sits at 332. To be honest, if I was a betting man, I would bet regardless of what happens, unless it's spectacular news. I just have a feeling Tesla's going to be red after hours. Because every time I feel like, when Tesla's like green leading up to earnings, I feel like even if they beat earnings, it drops. And then if Tesla's red leading up to earnings, even if it's the average okay earnings, Tesla turns green. At least that's basically kind of what I see. Again, that, take it for what it is. Who the hell knows? Again, I'm not a trader. I don't try to guess what stocks are doing. I don't really care. I'm an options trader, so I'm just trading on the volatility, and I love trading through earnings because that's where the volatility is. So, you have to play it both ways, and that way you won't get hurt one way or the other. Too bad. All right. Again, hopefully my voice is not too annoying today, and let's move on. TSLY, the value of the TSLY fund, 1.1 bill. The NAV is 809. Trade price 808. Synthetic on paper is worth 161 mil or 110 per share, which is, again, pretty damn sweet. Tesla's 30-day IV, honestly, that's much lower than I would think the day before earnings. And I know it's the 30-day average, but still, man, 55%. IV estimate based on that, 35 cents. Income estimate, $1.19. Group A declares in 14 days, though, so they got some time to fix this, right? Fix it up. All right, up next, your boy Vidy and Vidy Nerds. How you doing? Let's see. Some people said that quick video I did yesterday was they liked it because there was less bank bros, less singing, less weird noises. So today's video is kind of more of the same because I can't really sing with this groggy ass voice. So when Vidy did something interesting, they're just closing out positions, right? By the close call, 14 cents. By the close call, 10 cents. They did not roll it. They did not open a new position. So they basically just closed it and left it, which means, there's some, if you look here, if I highlight these two covered calls and then the long calls, 28,000 uncappity doodah, right? So that means 28,000 contracts on the synthetic has no covered call attached. So there's no capped upside. And if NVIDIA has earnings soon, I don't know. Do they have earnings soon? I don't know. I probably should know this, but if they do, that's good if they have good earnings. But if they have bad earnings, that's a missed opportunity. All right. Let's look at their covered calls. 4 to 6% out of the money. I mean, again, that's okay. We have 3 trading days. And as far as their synthetic, it's like NVIDIA is right in the middle. NVIDIA is at 167. Their synthetic is they have a 165 and a 170. Actually, I didn't track the price movement. Sorry about that. But NVIDIA did go down 2.6%, and Vidy went down 2.43%. So Vidy beat NVIDIA, not by much, but still it beat it on a down day. The value of the Vidy fund is 1.8 bill. The NAV is 16.43. Trade price is the same. Synthetic on paper is 8 cents per share. 30-day IV, 34%. IV estimate based on that, 44 cents. Income estimate, 264. So, I mean, again, they made was last week, most of it. So, but it's nice because they don't even declare for another 21 days. They could lose this. Don't forget, they could lose that on a synthetic rollover. So, yeah, man. All right. So what else? What else we doing? Well, we're going to go to Coney and let me try this. Nah. All right. I can still do the nah. So, yeah, what do you do to your cone, man? Coin went down 2.27%. Coney went down 2%. So Coney beat coin. That's good. Did they have trades? Again, we got to know the alphabet to find out. Let's see. Luckily, we still kind of know the alphabet, right? Even though we're getting old and forgetting things. Buy, call, sell, put. Okay, buy, call, sell, put. All right. So they added 1,100 contracts to the synthetic position twice, and they used those same contracts, and they sold a call Friday's expiration with a 425 strike. All right. That's all right. Nice. Again, new money coming in, so they put it to use. Now, let's look at their covered call positions for the remainder of the week. Coney heads, you are 5, 8, 10, 11, 13, 14, and 16% out of the money. So, yeah, how you doing? You doing all right. You doing aight, as they say. All right, so how's the synthetic doing? Well, it's a 390. Coin is at 404. So that's doing good as well. So Coney it's really, I have to say, it's been performing pretty damn good, over the last month or 2 or 3. But I know you see the $10 price and you get discouraged, but hey, it's been in this range, for some time. It pays a solid distribution, and you can't go wrong with this IV. So, and Bitcoin, it's becoming more and more popular, which coin kind of moves with Bitcoin, not like MSTR, but you get what I'm saying. It's I don't know, it's not bad at all. Until of course they get more competition down the road. Now that crypto has become more accepted, but hey, we'll see. All right, synthetic on paper is worth about 57 million. That price per share is 36 cents. 30-day IV, we just mentioned 66%. IV estimate based on that, 51 cents. Coney's going to declare in about what, to 35 minutes. So, this income estimate, it kind of refreshes. So if I go to the groups value tab, just so you know, it restarted on 7/21. So obviously this pivot table will fill in as the items on group C fill in and start to have trades. Obviously Coney had trades, but for a debit amount, which was yesterday, of course. And I'm not updating the outstanding shares yet because, again, as this fills in, these move up or down. So I'll update that probably by the end of the week or on the Saturday. Just trying to explain my sheet. Since you guys are here every day, you might as well know how the hell some of this works, right? Anyway, Group C will declare again, obviously after today, in 28 days, because they declare every 4 weeks. Make sense? Good. All right, moving on. All right, up next is the Simsy suckers. That's you, by the way, Simsy suckers. Let's see if the Simsy suckers had a trade. Again, we got to go to the S's. There we go. I didn't hear anything. No movement in the house, which is really good. Check the monitor while I'm working here. Let's see. All right. Little Rod still asleep. See, the problem is Little Rod, if he gets up, he runs to the other room. He jumps on Big Rod or Medium Rod. Not good. Not good. My wife is there, but hopefully she breaks it up in time. Boys be boys. But anyway, Simsy suckers, how you doing? How you doing? Buy, call, sell, put. Let's see. All right, they're adding to their synthetic 45. That's good. And then they're using those contracts and selling a call for this Friday expiration, 52 strike. And then what are they doing here? They're closing out 10,000 contracts, 7 cents. That's all they paid. Obviously, that was a win. So they closed it out early. And guess what? They did not open any new trades. Why is that? Well, maybe they already made what they needed to make, right? So, and there's no rush in, it's good to keep some of the synthetic on occasion, uncovered, right? And that way, if there is upside, unexpected upside, they can capture all of that on those shares. Obviously, unfortunately, if there's downside, we don't have covered calls that can be making money, but you get what I'm saying, hopefully. If not, feel free to chime in and yell at me. All right, so SMCI went down 3.29%. SMCY went down 1.97. I mean, that's a really good day, man, for SMCY, considering what SMCI did. All right, so again, we're going to go over here, and we're going to see what kind of covered calls we got left. Again, there's 3, 52, 55, 56. What did they close? Let me go back. They closed the 58. Okay, so there was a fourth. They closed the 58, which was the highest strike, and now they're left with 3, 52. And they're 4, 10, and 12% out of the money. So closing out that position makes sense. But yeah, we'll see, though. We'll see. Again, it is earnings. I feel like it's earnings time. So any one of these that I cover, I'm sure may have earnings. You guys feel free to point that out if any of you have that schedule. But anyway, synthetic wise, what do they got? They got a 45. SMCI sits at 49. So their synthetic is making really good money on paper. How much? It's worth about 29 million, which comes to about 204 per share. All right. The value of Simsy is 293 mil. The NAV is 2017, and the trade price is 10 cents off, which kind of unusual, but whatever. 30-day IV, really nice on this. Again, you gotta love it. 74% IV estimate based on that, $1.17. Income estimates in the negative, unfortunately. So yeah, well, they got time. They got a week, actually. They really got this week. So they have 3 days. So in looking at this, right, there's no income estimate to be had. So we're really just going to look at now a couple different things before we figure out the guesstimate. But obviously, I would think we're going to be more towards whatever that IV estimate looks like, which is $1.17. All right. All right. Let's move on to Platey. Again, this is the last fund, and then we got to go back to Misty and make sure the holdings, see if the holdings got updated. All right. Here we go. There's Platey. So what do? Buy to close put, purple alert, as they say. So what they did is they closed out part, or I don't know if this is part. Actually, let's just check real quick. This is what, 140, 919. You scroll up, 140. Yeah, no, it's part of it. Looks like a forced closure because I don't see a new synthetic. All right, yeah, so people sold out of the fund, it looks like, so they had to close out some of the synthetic position and close out, a weekly call or two, right? So in the process on the synthetic, they made 1.6 million because they were ahead on the synthetic. Also in the process, it looks like they won their trade, right? Because the strike price they closed was 155 and the price of Palantir is 149. So all in all, they made $1.5 million while people exited the fund. If you think about that, I mean, that's pretty good. It's pretty cool. Again, this is just realized income. It was already baked in the price, of course, but it's just something that they had to do because people sold out of the fund. Just like when people buy into the fund, they add to the synthetic, they add covered calls. When people sell out of the fund, a lot of people, then they'll have to do the reverse. So anyway, let's move on. I know all you guys know that probably. I'm just, I have to speak to sometimes the newer audience. Again, not everyone knows about YieldMax, so there could be people that are brand new coming in. And by the way, if you're one of those people that are brand new to YieldMax, and when I say brand new, like a couple weeks into it, and you're live with us right now on YouTube or X, please chime in. Just say hi in the live chat. These people don't bite in the chat. They are nice. Most of them are nice. And they'll welcome you and just say, yeah, just write how you doing. And that way I know you're new. All right. Anyway, Palantir went down 1.82%. Platey went down 1.68%. So again, red day. It's okay though. Again, we sell covered calls. We can handle a red day or two. In fact, sometimes we even welcome it, right? So how are their positions doing? Well, they're 3 and 5% out of the money. So they are, I mean, barely out of the money, but they are still out of the money. And that's not bad. So far, so good. How's their synthetic doing? As we saw when they cashed it out, it's doing good. It's still doing good because it's, Palantir is priced $10 above this synthetic. So if you think about it, that alone makes it, valuable as hell. But if you look, this synthetic on paper, it is worth 44 mil. It comes to 448 per share. The value of the Platey fund is, let me just make sure this formula is updated too. 15.3. Okay. Oh, I hear the little one getting up. The value of the Platey fund is 650 mil. The NAV is 65.74. Trade price 65.65, 9 cents off. All good. And if we go to the 30-day IV, 65% IV estimate based on that, 332, which again is not bad at all. And then we go to the the income estimate so far. Even though they have 21 days till next declaration, the income estimate is about 82 cents per share. All right, and then we have the guesstimate for fun here, which we don't really have a guesstimate, but I guess we could throw a number in, right? If the IV is 332, then let's just say they pay, I mean, you guys would be pissed at this number, $3. Yeah, no, maybe 4. 4 would be a 79% yield. I don't know. What do you guys think Platey's going to pay? Who the hell knows, right? Yeah, no, brother. I probably should take a second real quick just to check. All right, so Oh my, Misty, come on. Yeah, I don't know why the Misty Holdings is not updated, but yeah. Let me pull up the pre-market numbers, and I'm going to mute myself, and maybe I'll put I think I have music on here I can put on for you guys. All right, and right back. All right, I'm back. Sorry. How was your dance pop? Everyone enjoy the dance pop? All right. So obviously this is the MSTR pre-market. Oh, by the way, update: the older child is still asleep, so that's good. All right. Let's double check Misty. If Misty is still not updated, man, still not updated. So what we'll do is we will head into my options trades for yesterday. Again, it's 6:32 a.m. We have about 23 minutes until they declare their distribution. So did you guys did you guys enjoy the music? I guess I'll do that anytime I have to step away. I assume you can hear me now. But I probably should do the music thing when I do step away to keep it somewhat entertaining. But anyway, let's get to it. Should I put music on low while I'm talking? Probably not, right? All right, so here's an update again. Right now, I trade options on the side. I think most of you know that. So basically, I have one account that's all options trades, and then another account, which is basically I invest in most of the weeklies, the weekly paying funds. Both accounts pay the bills. One account, obviously, I'm active on, which is this, and then the other account, which it just works for me. I pay that expense fee from YieldMax and whatever other funds I own, and they do their thing. All right. So let's get to it. So as you know, Misty, I sold a put last week on July 18th, and I chose an expiration date of this Friday. At the time, it was 0.36% in the money. It's now 1.1% in the money. So again, looking at Misty, it's currently at 21.92. I have a strike price of 22. All right. So let's pull up Misty pre-market just to see where we stand. Okay. Oh, it's actually green. So Misty sits at 2178. If I could scroll, help. It's at 2178. Again, going back to my put here, it's 22. So if Misty closes above 22 on Friday, this will expire worthless and I won't get shares. If Misty closes below 22, regardless of where it closes, I will be assigned 100 shares at $22, right? Obviously, if it closes close up or down, anything could happen. But why did I sell a put? Because I said, I could use another 100 shares of Misty. Right now I own 500. So since I could use another 100 shares, instead of buying it outright, I'm going to sell a put at the money. And I chose an expiration date of the Friday before they declare again, which is next week. Again, they declare next week and it expires this Friday. So if I get assigned, then great. If I don't, then so what? In the process, I collected 42 cents per share, which if you think about it, shelling up $2,200 within that time period, that's an annualized yield of almost 100%. So, worst comes to worst. Again, I got the $42. I get my 2,200 back, and I could do it again. And that time, I could probably sell a put closer again, the Friday right before the next declaration week. And that's kind of how I buy Misty. It's worth it on Misty. I'm not going to say it's worth it on all the other YieldMax or covered call ETF funds. You have to look at the chart, the options chain. It's some of these funds, again, it's always questionable to trade options on these, but I find it worthwhile to do it on Misty on occasion, of course. Selling calls is a different story. Typically on when I sell calls, I want to make sure that obviously I'm okay with losing the shares. So what I'll do is I will sell a call with an expiration date of the Friday of declaration week. That way the Friday falls after the ex-dividend date. So the only way they would get that distribution is if I get assigned early. So again, that's kind of how I would set that up, if that makes sense. All right, moving on to TSLL. Yesterday I did one trade. They were up a little bit. They were at 1253. I sold yet another call. If you notice, I've been going into the following week. And the reason is I'm feeling like, I don't know, Tesla's been moving and it's kind of scary. So I want to capitalize on any upside just in case. So I sold a call 17 bucks, 35% out of the money. And that was a delta of 0.12, which is well under the 0.2. And what did that pay me? 16 cents per share or $16. So now obviously I got a lot going on in TSLL. I got 3 puts. I got 5 covered calls now, all heading into earnings. Anything can happen. If it goes up after earnings, my puts will do great, right? And they'll all expire worthless and party on. If my calls will not do as great. It depends, of course, how much it goes up. But if Tesla tanks, then obviously my calls will be fine and they will not be assigned and they will expire worthless, but my puts will be in danger. So again, that's how I'm playing both sides of earnings at this very moment. So hopefully that makes sense. TSLL, just so you know, I do currently own 700 shares. I have 500 that have covered calls on it. So there's 200 left over that I can sell calls on. So if I look at the pre-market, let me see what TSLL is doing. If it's green again today, I'm going to sell one more covered call before earnings. And yeah, so it is green. So I'll probably sell, again, that'll leave only 100. But again, look at my covered calls. They're pretty far out of the money. So I'm ready to capture some upside. I mean, if TSLL goes to 20, hey, what can you do, man? What can you do? It is what it is. Who the hell can predict that? Because again, it's at 1253. That would be almost, it's a big upside. I'm not expecting that. So, if it does happen, like I said, there's nothing you can do. All right. As far as for the week, how much have I made on TSLL? I have made $42, which I know not a lot of money, but hey, day by day, you got to do what you got to do. Now TNA, sorry, I got to take a sip of water. Looks like people are starting to wake up. We now have 1,127 people live with us, which is pretty sweet. Again, now that I'm simulcasting on both X and YouTube. So I just want to say, for those of you that are here live, how you doing? All right. Yeah, we're here and we're going live up until the declaration of YieldMax, which will happen in 15 minutes. But for now, let me get through my covered calls, and then we'll get to some YieldMax stuff, Q&A, whatever we got time for. All right, so TNA, again, I got some crazy plays here, but for yesterday, I did nothing. But Monday, I didn't really cover what I did Monday. But in short, I got two covered calls, a 41 and a 42. You know, these are way out of the money. They were 10 and 13% out of the money. Now they're 11 and 14. But again, the reason is the market, it just seems to be bullish lately. And so I'm protecting my, you know, my capital. And I want to, yes, I want to sell covered calls to earn premium. And at the same time, I want to get that capital appreciation if it comes. So the premium per share on these two covered calls for this week, you can see that I made $140. Now, why did I make so much money on those? It's because they're further dated. Like I went to next Friday on one, and I went even further, 2 more weeks further on an 8/15 expiration, because I wanted the, you know, I wanted the high premium and I wanted the higher strike price. So again, if you want both of those, you kind of have to look out further dated. And then at the same time, you know, I'm basically saying, okay, I'm scared that TNA is going to go up. So if I'm so scared, why don't I sell a put at the money? You know, grow some balls, son. Sell a put at the money. And I did. I sold at 37. I chose an expiration date of next Friday. Right now it's in the money. That's okay though. And it paid me $182 for the risk. So I will gladly accept that risk. If TNA goes down, it keeps going down. Hey, it is what it is. It was still worth the risk. Okay. Again, hopefully that makes sense. And guess what? If it goes down, remember my covered calls, they're going to be just fine and they're going to expire worthless, because I currently only own 300 shares of TNA. So, and I want to own more, but I don't want to buy it like a degenerate. So again, yeah, this is a kind of a degenerate play, but it's one that I'm comfortable with based on how the market's been going. And then I did sell another put. I feel like I did this one yesterday though. Maybe not. Maybe I sold. Okay, maybe I sold it later in the other day. But I sold a put, $33, 8% out of the money, and this was for this Friday actually. Delta was 0.1, super safe. And it's, again, now it's 10% out of the money, so it's doing really good. It paid me $16. Nothing too exciting. And you can see the various annualized yields. Those two calls, they're not yielding what I would normally get, but only 30 and 40% annualized yield, which is below my 50% goal. So you got to keep them in mind. I try to yield 50% on an annualized basis, month in and month out, right? This is kind of bringing that down a little. However, you throw in a degen play like this, and then I'm yielding 163%. Again, high risk, high reward. So that's okay. Now, and then this put only yielded me 30%. But again, with all those plays, you can see I made a decent penny so far. I made $338 for this week trading TNA. And I'm having a blast, honestly. I love trading options. It's actually really, really fun. And I welcome everyone to, you know, I get it. You don't want to learn it. You just want to pay the experts to do it. And that's fine. But why not learn a little, man? Why not at least take the time and try to understand it? And that way, if you understand it, then make the decision on whether or not you want to do it yourself. You know, I'm not saying all of the money, but maybe a little bit here and there, right? Take maybe even open a separate account, you know, throw $5,000. I don't know, whatever you can afford, throw some money in there, play around, or there's ways you can play with fake money. I know like TD Ameritrade, I think when you log in, you have the option to choose paper money. That's not for me though. I have to use real money or else I'm not going to care. Right? If I click paper money, I'm just going to be clicking buttons like a fool. So yeah, man, I would say again, if you don't know anything about options, and I know it's intimidating, just research it and try to learn the basics of it. Just search on YouTube options trading basics, and then go from there. Again, you'll find someone who you'll meet. You'll probably find one of my videos too, which may or may not help you, but you may have to learn. I'm not saying my level, the way I teach it is for everyone either. There's always a YouTuber for everyone. But again, at some point I would love to do this coaching thing I've been talking about. And if options like 101 is their thing, like individual, again, I'm no options expert. I know what I know. I know the wheel, right? I know how to make income. I don't buy calls. I don't buy puts for downside protection because I just don't. I don't want to spend the money for that risk. I accept the risk holding, right? And I play it as an income. The only time I buy is when I buy to close. I don't do that other, I don't buy a call hoping the stock's going to go up. I don't play that game because I don't know where the stock's going to do. I'm not predicting where the stock's going to go, and I don't want to. I kind of played that game, swing trading, in the past, and it's not for me. This is where it's at. This is where it's at for me. So again, that'll be part of something I'll do later on when I do have more time. But I wouldn't say wait for that. Certainly, I would say just, I don't know, buy a book, listen to the podcast, listen to videos, whatever you want to do, man. Whatever you want to do. Anyway, so let's move on to the weekly income. Sorry for ranting a little there, but again, I seriously always recommend people learn about options. I'm not saying trade options, but at least learn about it. All right, so currently I am at $380 for the week in options income, and my goal is $389. So I need $9 between 3 days and to hit my goal. Obviously, that is very doable, so no concerns there. All right, before we go any further, yes. All right, so they updated the Misty holdings. Sorry for the delay, but again, I can't control what they're going to do. So if this is where we stand on the Misty covered calls for the week, the red font, that is, well, for those of you coming in late, actually, let me just kind of recap real quick. The holdings information was not updated, so I kind of had to pause my Misty coverage. So obviously we're continuing from here. So covered call wise for this week, their lowest strike now sits at 440. And the highest strike sits at 460. So it's 3 to 7% out of the money. And is that safe? I mean, so far, man, there's nothing to tell us it's not, because it's kind of been trading around this range. Like, do we really think MSTR is going to go to 470, say? I mean, it could, but I don't know, man. Right? What's Bitcoin at? It's at like, what, I think I have it here. I don't know how updated it is. 118. So yeah, it's every time it hits 120, it seems to get rejected and come back down. So I'm actually really kind of comfortable. Again, I don't guess what the market does, but based on what I know and see, I feel good about these strikes at the moment. Watch we get blown through today. All right. So anyway, that's the covered calls. And obviously, yeah, you saw they had a position for next week. So now if we look at the synthetic positions, again, reminding you, MSTR is currently at 426. 426 is above all of these strike prices, which, again, the synthetic is making bank, bro. We haven't been saying bank, bro, but we need to. We're making freaking bank. Now, how much is our synthetic worth on the paper? Well, it's actually worth 248 mil, and that comes to 96 cents per share, which, again, is that good? That's good. Again, Misty, it's still only like a $21 fund. So you collect 96 cents, you're freaking happy. The value of the Misty fund is 5.6 bill. The NAV is 2179, trade price 2176. Synthetic contracts, again, there are 131,915 synthetic contract positions. They're selling covered calls on 109,915. That is 83%. So they upped that a little bit from the day prior. So because why not, right? Because why not? So they now have about what 16.68% uncappity doodah, as they say, and we'll see how that works out. IMST, see, as mentioned before, see how that line filled in. Again, I don't know what's going on, but it is what it is. Again, IMST is a different Mr. fund, MSTR fund. It's from Bitwise. What they do is similar to what YieldMax does, except they sell calls a little further dated. If you look here, all of their covered calls expire on August 15th. Actually, except this one. Is this one new? Yeah, they have one that expires this Friday. Actually, maybe I'll put the Friday one in red. And that has a 470 strike price, 10% out of the money. So, of course, yeah, that looks to be really safe. That looks to be a winner chicken dinner. And then what about these other ones? These other ones, again, they expire mid-August. Who knows what can happen by then? But they are 11, 17, 18, 19% out of the money. So we'll see how that goes. As far as the how much they're trading on their current position, they're trading 76% of their synthetic position, and their fund is worth 80 mil. And the NAV comes to 53.38 trade price, close enough, 6 cents off. And then, by the way, their deck date is not today, but it is tomorrow. So stay tuned for that. We'll see what they pay. Why is this yield really that low? They've only made 2 payments so far. Wow. Okay. All right. MS2 is the other one. This one is run by Rec Shares. Now, again, pretty straightforward fund. They sell calls on 50% of the fund, and that's it, man. That's it. So how's it doing? How's their call doing? Well, it's 460, 7% out of the money. It expires Friday. Great. Their fund is only worth 13 mil, so much smaller than the others. And their NAV comes to 26.40. Finally, the trade price, everything matches up. And also, they did declare yesterday, so that well, they declared, I'm sorry, the 21st, but everything's updated now. I think, I don't know if we mentioned this, but that yielded 51%. So if you're wondering what this fund is going to yield, the average yield has been around like 45, 50% or so, which is not bad, considering they're only selling covered calls on half. So, and I think that what they launch at $25, so they're doing pretty good. MST, again, I don't really cover that fund to the weekend, but and I didn't update it, so it's a little different. It's all good, man. All right, so that's it on the coverage. Got to take a sip of water again. But it's now, we got 3 minutes. And we have, what, 1,400 people. If you're on X, feel free to retweet this live stream. That way others can watch and see what the declaration is. Yeah, that's right, LA. It's the final countdown. If I get my mouse, I can pull up the comment. You guys are commenting too fast here. Where did that comment go? There it is. Gotta love Rocky movies, right? All right, sorry. I'm checking comments now. I'm not going back, but let's see. Rod, are you going to cover Ulti someday? Well, it's funny you ask, because I have a video coming out on Friday, I believe around noon or 3 p.m. between that time frame. I did make it available to the ROD Wolfpack. It is available for them to watch. Well, it was available on Monday and still is, but it's available to the public on Friday. But if you're in the ROD Wolfpack, you can watch it now. So yeah, it's actually how to retire on Ulti video. I think you guys will like it. I heard it came out good. Again, I don't know. Lately, I've been like, been a little out of it with my videos. Hopefully, it comes out all right, though. Let me know. All right, so let's see. Exactly. We tweet. What's up, ETF Inspector? Shout out, of course, to ETF Inspector. You guys know who he is by now. Most of you do. He covers basically everything I don't, right? So if you complain, I don't cover this, I don't cover that, then you go to his channel and you say, okay, what we got? What we got? And then he probably covers it. If he doesn't, feel free to yell at him. 273 on YouTube. Thank you, Migs, for the update. All right. 655, by the way. Is it up? Let me refresh. Again, they typically post it on globnewswire.com first. So we can refresh and it'll be down here. I don't see it yet. It could be in the email too. Let me check my emails. I always say one day I'm going to have someone from YieldMax on and announce the distributions live only on my channel. You think I can get them to do that? I know some of them are listening, so that is an idea I have. That would be pretty sweet. And then they can announce it to the public maybe like 10 minutes after that. I know. I'm asking for a lot here, but I think that would be pretty cool. There you go. There's the announcement. All right. Let's see. Well, Hoy, it's close to the 7. Who else were we unsure of? Coney, Sivney. Okay. Ulti, I'm curious. They didn't pay the 11. All right. Let me pull it up on the other screen and I will update it. Again, I'm not going to be looking at the chat for a second. I'm just going to be updating the trades. Not the trades, the distributions from another screen. And we will go from there. All right. Unless I do it. Actually, I could do it from my phone. That way I can still see the chat. Sorry, guys. I'm just working on this. Trying to get on the phone. This website is not as good on the phone. What the hell? Recent news. The hell is it? All right, it's not cooperating. All right, I'm gonna have to do it on the other screen. Okay, let's see. All right, we're just gonna go down the line and plug the numbers in, and we'll go from there. Where the hell is Nefly? All right, Nefly. Let me shrink this screen so I can see. Okay, Nefly is 0.435. Wow, much less than I thought. It's all right, but it was in line with the last one, so we shouldn't be too surprised there. Coney Conehead, 0.7951. All right, 0.7951. So, yep, that matches, what they're paying. Oh, there's the email. All right, so I'll do it from the email now so I can see the comments as you guys go. All right, MSFO. 0.4139. Obviously, I thought they would be a little more generous because I know they've been doing well. Hey, but that's all right. And by the way, Coney did yield 100%, so you guys should be pretty happy about that. AMDY 0.5656. And wow, Yeah, AMDY 85% yield. That's pretty good. PP 0.2731. See, these other funds, man, they don't go all out. But I thought for sure PP was going to do better than that. Hey, but whatever. ABNY 0.3748. Okay. CVNY, again, this one's always tough to guess. 2.0473. Obviously, I thought they would pay more. But whatever. And we got a HOY. This was the challenge of the month of the cycle, we should say. 6.8981. Hey, 705, pretty close actually. Not bad. My other ones were, some of these are way off, some of these are close. I'm all over the place, to be honest, but HOY was the one I wanted to focus on, and I'm glad, because I know you guys kind of rely sometimes, some of you you get your hopes up, but yeah, man, but don't. My guesstimates are just for fun and entertainment. Sometimes I'm way the hell off, sometimes I'm not. All right, so did Dre not pay anything? Let me just confirm that. Okay, Dre did not pay anything as expected. Should I throw in a zero? No, I'll just leave it blank. All right, and then we got fiat. If anyone cares about fiat, 0.1381. Okay. So real quick on these, and let me know what you guys think. Nefly, 43 cents, 32% yield. Coney, 79 cents, 103% yield. MSFO, 41 cents, 29% yield. AMDY, 56 cents, 85% yield. PP, 27 cents, 27% yield. ABNY, 37 cents, 40% yield. SMCY, CVNY, 204, 61% yield. Pretty damn good. Hooey. Unfortunately, I still don't have a nickname for you Hoy people. I do like Hoy hodlers though, but I don't know. I don't know if it has the same ring to it. But Hoy 689, 123% yield. Is that what the email says? Let's see what the email shows 121. Wow. Gotta love it. Dre, again, they just launched, so they'll pay next time. So don't worry, guys. Because nowadays, everybody want to talk like they got something to say. But now comes that when you move the lips, but you're gentle. So what do you say to somebody you hate? All right, obviously. Forget about Dre, right? Anyway, fiat, 13 cents, 60% yield. All right, now we will go to the weeklies. Skip over Group D. They're coming, man. They are coming. Obviously, just so you guys know, it's filled in here because there's 4 payments within each cycle for the weekly. So you'll see I have a payment here for YieldMax, but obviously I'm just going to add to it. All right. So don't get too confused there. All right. Now, actually, before I even update that, since it's now the actual yield is pulling based on that. So actual yield, you know what I'll do? I'll have it pull AY51. And then since there's 2 payments, right, we'll multiply it by 26 payments, right? So, because obviously, 26 payments in a year for 2 payments, 2 times 26, 52, right? Anyway, and then divide that by the price of the underlying. So let me click that here. Again, I hope you guys enjoy my little formulas. So ignore the actual yield right now. I'm going to plug in the other numbers and we will get to it. All right, so YieldMax, the weekly should be on the top of the email, which is what I'm referencing right now on my phone. So we will do plus, where's YieldMax? 0.1838. Okay, that's a 53% yield. Again, my guesstimates, they change. I don't know what it was. I'll have to check. But my weeklies, they go up based on the formula. So if you notice, they do change when we go back in. But I don't know if my guessing was 16, so I'm not gonna judge off that. YMAG, let's see what they're paying. 20 cents. All right. Good job, YMAG. 0.2033. 59% yield. Very nice. LFGY, again, this is one of the faves here. Let's see what they're paying. 48 cents. That's not bad. That's in line with the last payment. Plus 0.4876. What the hell did I do? Plus, I didn't put the equals in there. My bad. Yep. They're yielding 62%. GPTY. I didn't put the equals in there either. They paid 29 cents last week. Now they're paying 32 cents. All right. We like when it goes up. Again, you got to love these weeklies. That's why I pretty much own a lot of these weeklies in my other account. And I just let them do their thing, man. They just work for me. SDTY, how you doing? 16 cents. That's greater than the last payment of 14. So again, positive stuff right there. That's what we like to see. We're not always going to get the increases, but when we do get the increases, it is pretty sweet. All right, QDTY, their last payment was 19 cents. This payment is 19 cents. So it's 0.1944, which if you want to get technical, that technically was an increase as well. Sorry, losing my voice still, but I thought it was getting better. Let me take a sip of coffee. All right, let's go. RDTY, 39 cents. That is a 6-cent increase from the last payment. Gotta love it, man. Solid numbers. Solid. All right, Ulti, again, I think I had, see, look at the guesstimate. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure mine showed 11 cents. See how it shows 9 now? But that does it automatically. That's why I got to take the screen prints. But Ulti is paying 10 cents, which is in line with the last payment, which is okay. Again, 10 cents better than 9 cents, right? So I think the Ulti people are certainly happy. You know, again, 11 cents would have been nice, but 10 cents is great. Last but not least, we got chippity-doo-dah, chippity-day, chip, chip, chip. What a wonderful day. 0.3723. Oh my goodness. It's almost exactly what it was in the previous week. So here is the recap, okay? Now, again, keep in mind when I say yield, I'm doing the yield based on the last 2 payments and annualizing it from there, all right? Hopefully that makes sense. All right, here we go. YMAX, 18 cents, 53% yield. YMAG, 20 cents, 59% yield. LFGY, 48 cents, 62% yield. GPTY, 32 cents, 33% yield. SDTY, 16 cents, 17% yield. What we got? QDTY, 19 cents, 22% yield. RDTY, 39 cents, 40% yield. And Ulti, 10 cents, 85% yield. Chippity doo-dah, we got 37 cents, 35% yield. Again, let me just double check the file, and I'm pretty sure I got everything. All right, yes, we did. We got everything. We covered every single fund, every guesstimate, this, that, the other thing. So we're finished with Group C. Now, it's time to, before we go, we're just going to go through some comments. If you guys want to share some feedback, what funds are you happy about and what funds are you sad about? Are you impressed with any of these distributions? You know, let the people from YieldMax hear. You know, some of them do watch. So let's hear it. Now's the chance. Get the feedback. What are your thoughts? Now that I could drink my coffee. All right. So we got Eric the Aviator. AMDY and Coney are the bomb. Mig's Room, I'm pleased with the distribution this week. LA busting my balls as usual. Retire Abroad Finance, happy about my first Hui distribution, as you should be. Mig's Room, not like the previous two. 95 cents for Coney would have been nice. Yeah. 10 cents in Ulti, it's nice. LA said, great job, guys. David Wester, great job. Rob, whoever that is. I assume he's talking about me, but hey, I'll take it. It's ROD, right? Congrats for Retire Abroad. Where we got disappointed, Nefli, but it's above IV. Might sell it. Put in Ulti. Damn, you guys are quick. Save money for estimated tax payments. Hui should be more. I mean, really? You a greedy bastard. I mean, they're yielding 123%. I think you should be happy with that, man. YieldMax and Ulti, a good week for me. Wolf says, yeah, I'm happy with Ulti. Now I just need to put my limit order in for shares under 619. Mig's Room says, nah. I think Mig's Room needs to do more than one video per week. What do you guys think? All right. My Sunita says, my first Hui, and as I assume you mean Coney distros. Happy dance. Let's see the happy dance. Let's go. Share it on X. All right. Let's see. Richard, I will be selling my Coney now. Retire Abroad. YieldMax is good too. Guys, check out Retire Abroad Finance. She's got a YouTube channel. Looks like she abbreviated her channel name a little. I think that's a smart move. OB says Coney Div is great. Yeah. All right. Mig's Room. Heck yes, Sunita. TC's here. I just came in to tell LA to stay away from Rod's balls. Not sure. Beardy, eighth wife stole his Coney. Yep. Can't do it. Too many. Get married once. That's it. If you get divorced, then no more. No more. No soup for you. That's why it's till death do you part, right? Ripping Silk. Good, not God. Okay. David Wester, Bank Bra for sure. All right. Mig's Room, LOL. Thank you. TC, talking to LA. Wife got my money. There you go. Is that good? I usually tuck away 10% of this for the upcoming taxes. Yep, everyone loves taxes. LFGY gang here. You got to come up with a better name than that. LFGY gang? How about LFGY losers? No, I'm just kidding. LFGY. I'm running. I got nothing lately. We'll discuss it, Rod. Yeah, man, you should. You should. You got 3 people. You could come up with some interesting stuff, maybe like a weekly series of different things. Norma says, I will hit 10K in Ulti in 2 weeks. Good job. Wolf says, hello, Retire Abroad. By the way, we have almost 1,800 people live, which is pretty sweet. I thank you for all being here. I need your rave music for the happy dance. All right, you know what? I'm going to put the music on since we're towards the end anyway. Let me know. Can you guys hear me talk over the music? I'll lower it a little, actually. There you go. Put some dance music on. All right, where am I? All right, you're welcome, ETF Inspector. You got to get ETF Inspector, on here. Maybe we'll to share, like people ask me to cover Ulti, maybe I'll ask ETF Inspector to jump in one day and just do like Ulti coverage as like a guest appearance. I don't know if you're down with that, ETF Inspector, but just a thought. I think that would be fun. Fire on dividends. Thank you for the shout. You're welcome. You're welcome. Share your channel here, of course. And yeah, let us know what I don't know. I think I saw a video We were talking about taking a part-time job, going back to work. I don't know. Keep us posted on that. Looking for group. Which group? LFG Lifers. Yeah, that's not bad. Because once you buy LFG, why you can't go back. All right. So let's see. All right. So how's the music? Is it still loud enough that you can hear it? LFG Lifters. Yeah. I like that one. Yeah, bro. You can only buy LFGY if you lift, son. MSTW is live. Oh. Let's go see if Market Watch knows what's up here. MSTW up in the house. Oh, well. Oh, well. Well, we tried, right? But, hey, I'll check it out later. I'll add it to the file. Good morning, Johnny Whitehurst. Oops. Where am I in the chat? Sorry. All right. LFG. Gary's a happy man. Amazing how Ulti is the new darling. Yes, Ulti YouTubers are coming out left and right on Ulti. But remember who covered Ulti first? ETF Inspector, right? He was the man that covered it in detail. So, you know, keep following him for the coverage. Happy with an Ulti distro. I'd be down with it, but I think I would bore your viewers. I'm not entertaining. Hey, do you hear me today? Am I really that? I'm not entertaining at all today. But and I know it's early for you because you do your videos late. But like maybe like one video, maybe like on a Saturday. I don't know. Let me know what you think. Like on a Saturday, we could do like maybe even this Saturday. Do like a closeout of Ulti for the week. If you want to do it in the beginning of the video, or you could do it like towards the end. I don't know, just a thought. Guys, let me know what you guys think of that. MSTW not showing on details. Yeah, Market Watch. Usually they're pretty fast. Uh-oh, we got a cone head. This is how we talk to each other as cone heads. Ulti is not a CAD or the TUG. It's the best of it. All right. Have everyone vote no on the MIGS reveal full run. Is that, oh, for your, what, to show yourself? I know one of you guys shows your face. One of you guys is a cartoon, and then I think one is like a picture. You should all just show your face. Who cares? It's always so damn small, you can't see it. Oh, it's on Webbo. Okay. Red Day, angry. Is it red? Yeah, well, it's half and half, at least what I'm showing. I'd have to abbreviate. It takes like 20 minutes to get through the daily coverage. Okay. All right, well, you know, think about it. We'll talk. Great stuff. All right, LA's got to go, right? By the way, check out LA premiere at 7:30 a.m. I'll try and be there as well. We'll say hi. Click his name in his YouTube channel, LA Appliance Guy. Oh, yeah. She's doing well, by the way. Happy camper, that is. I know. I hope she comes back to do some coverage. But yeah, you're right. Shout out to Happy Camper for being the first. She'll be back. David is happy with the Ulti distro. And go through. Rod dance party. That's right. Rod cannot dance. Rod will not dance unless he's wasted. All right, ETF, do your thing, and Rod will sing and entertain. It would be fun duo. Yeah, you could, if you want, you could be like with me the whole time, and then I'll let you take over when it's your part. All right, I'm just scrolling through. You're welcome. I've been watching a lot of Moana. You're welcome. All right. Dipping my toes in options. Sweet. All right. I'll be happy to help you if you have any questions. Are you trading TSLL options today? Hells yeah. It's looking green, so I'm at least going to sell one call. I'm not sure if I'm going to throw a put in there as well, but maybe I'll just sell a call. But yeah, I'll try to get that out on X. I'm actually thinking about, you guys on X, feel free to let me know what you think. I know everyone does a subscription, which I never thought, there was anything worth it that I could do, but I'm thinking about if people are interested doing like a subscription on X, and I will post my trades as soon as I do them, and I will also announce the guesstimates sooner than the Sunday video, which usually is either the Friday or the Saturday. Probably haven't done. I don't know. You guys can let me know. Is that sounds like softcore music? All right, maybe I'll pick another song. Hey, it said dance music, man. 1,000 shares of PLTY. Hey, wow, yeah. Brother AB in the house. Brother AB is always the first here, and he hangs out to the end. Shout out to Brother AB. I know he doesn't really have a YouTube, but he does art, and he's an artiste. So shout out to Brother AB. We do options lessons for channel members. Yeah, I know. I need to. I got to do something. I know I do. All right, I'm going to end it. I got to drop my son off, little one, off at daycare, and then I want to go for another run on the boardwalk. Again, because I'm off this week, and those are the only times I can run on the boardwalk, and I got to get there before the parking gets out of control. Because, everyone's going to the beach crack of dawn, or their cars are parked there from who knows when. But as always, this is not financial advice. I am not a financial advisor, and this video is for fun and entertainment. So hopefully you had fun. Hopefully you're entertained. If not, come back tomorrow and we'll do it again. We'll do it again, and we'll do it again, and again, and again, and again, and again. Outside of that, if you guys enjoy this content, please hit the like button. It does go a long way. If you're on X, you can hit the heart, and you can hit the retweet, by the way, that helps. If you're on YouTube, you can hit the thumbs up, and you can hit the share. You are allowed to share. You are able to share on YouTube. It'll go to your YouTube people to see, but hey, still better than nothing, right? But sharing is caring, of course. But that's all we got. Again, we made it to the end of the video, so it's keyword time. So if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you got to say the keyword. Keyword today. Well, it's really up to you guys. I'll wait for you guys to type in keyword. I think Sunita said dance party. What do you guys think? Is that a good keyword for today? Because obviously I'm putting a little music on, which I had going during my break. And yeah, I guess it's a happy dance party because it's declaration date. I think most people are happy with Hoy, some of these others. So MySpace. Yes, I had MySpace. I am that old. But yeah, we'll go with Sunita's because she's been here, with us a lot lately, and I appreciate it. So if you made it this far in the video and you want to prove it, you got to type in the comments on YouTube or on X, dance party. And that way we know you made it this far in the video, right? You made it to the end of the video. This video is 1 hour and 23 minutes. It is not easy to make it that long, that far, to pay attention that long in a video. So you got to get the proper credit for it. In order to do that, you got to type in dance party. Dance partay, as they say. Distro dance partay at Steel 6. All right, I'm out of here. I hope everyone enjoys their day, and I will talk to you all tomorrow. All right? Later.